Hi everyone, it's Veronica from Blue Star Crochet. Welcome to today's YouTube video tutorial. I'm so glad you're here to join me in crocheting this beautiful shawl. This is Heart of Rose shawl and it's a pretty crazy construction. So we're going to be working in two halves of the shawl. We're going to start with this strip on the side that's worked in this direction in short rows, creating this beautiful kind of flower motif on the side. And once we work up the long strip, we're gonna then work round the edge stitches of the long strip and then continue working up the main body of the shawl in long rows of this beautiful lace, alternating with more solid stitches until we reach the middle of the shawl. Then we're gonna fasten off and we're gonna work up the other half of the shawl in exactly the same way. And then I'm going to show you how to join the shawl through the middle. This is where our join is, this lacy join in the middle. So I'm going to show you how to join the two halves of the shawl together. So for this project, I'm going to be using the King Cole Giza cotton 4-ply. This is 100% mercerized cotton. And it's about 175 yards or 158 meters per 50-gram ball. So this is cream for the main body, and for the side strips we're going to be using colorway Antique, but of course the color choices are totally up to you. In terms of hooks, I'm going to be using a 4mm crochet hook, as well as a 4.5mm crochet hook. And of course we'll need some scissors, stitch markers if you do find them helpful to use, and at the very end of the shawl when it's finished we'll also need some blocking boards or blocking mats to block this shawl to beautifully open up this lace on the side and through the middle of the shawl. So let's have a look, and I'm going to teach you how to create this beautiful lacy shawl step by step. Okay, the reason I mentioned two sizes of hooks, kind of half a size apart, is because the side strip, the height of your stitches might be slightly shorter than 3 double crochets worked into the edge stitch. If that's the case for you, then start with the 4.5mm hook for the side strip, which will produce slightly taller stitches on your rows, which is then gonna match the width of 3 double crochets worked around the edge of the stitch better, because we're going to then move on to the 4mm hook. Okay, so if the height of your double crochet is slightly off, then 3 double crochet worked into the side, then use the 2 sizes of the hook. Okay, so we're going to start with the side strip, and we're going to start with a slip knot. Okay, so I'm going to pop the loop onto my fingers, cross it over, grab the tail end and pull it through. So that's my slip knot. Now I'm going to pop this onto my hook, and to start the side strip we're going to work across 19 stitches. So I'm going to chain 20 to start with. Here we go, chain 20, and I'm going to start working into the second chain from the hook, and we're going to create one standing double crochet into the second chain from the hook. So I'm going to extend my loop, place my finger on top, spin it towards me, then I'm going to insert the hook into the chain, yarn over, pull through. Now I've got 3 loops on the hook, still holding on to that first loop. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so that's my first standing double crochet, and then I'm going to simply work 1 double crochet into each chain across, and at the end of the first row we should have 19 double crochet altogether. So I'm going to go ahead and work up 1 double crochet into each chain and meet you back. And here we have 19 double crochet. For row 2 we're going to turn, and row 2 is pretty much the repeat of row 1 by starting with 1 standing double crochet into the first stitch, same as before, and then it's 1 double crochet into each stitch across. For row 3, we're gonna again start with 1 standing double crochet into the first stitch, and then I'm gonna work up 1 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. Okay, so that's 1. There we go. So we've got 6 double crochets to start with. Now we're going to chain 4, skip the next 3 stitches on the main row, and into the next stitch I'm going to work 1 bobble stitch. So that's yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to repeat this 4 more times. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so that's the second time. Repeat exactly the same 3rd, 4th, and 5th time. Okay, so altogether I've got 6 loops on my hook. So I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 6 loops on my hook. Then we're going to chain 4 like this. Then go back to the main row, skip the next 3 stitches and work 1 double crochet into each stitch to end. Okay, like this. Now for row 4, we're going to turn again, and we're going to again start with standing double crochet, and I'm going to do 1 double crochet in next and 1 double crochet in next. Okay, and what we're going to do now is do the horizontal bobble stitch. So I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to work the rest of the bobble stitch into the first chain that we made. Okay, so this 3 chain here counts as the first part of the bobble stitch. So for the horizontal bobble stitch, we're only going to repeat it 4 times. Okay, so yarn over, insert your hook into the first chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and I'm going to repeat this 3 more times. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I've got 5 loops on the hook, then yarn over, pull through all loops on the hook, and now I'm going to look at this 4 chain space, and I'm going to anchor this horizontal bobble stitch by working a single crochet into that 4 chain space like this, then single crochet into the next bobble stitch, okay, and 1 single crochet into the next 4 chain space like this. Okay, and now I'm going to work the other horizontal bobble stitch. Okay, so I've got the one there, so I'm going to create another one on the other side, and the process is exactly the same. So I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and again into the first chain that we created, I'm going to repeat yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and I'm going to repeat this 3 more times. Okay, like this, then yarn over, pull through all loops on the hook, and now we're going to look at these 6 double crochets on the other side. So I'm going to skip the first 3 and work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 on this side. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this is where we are at the moment. Okay, so we've got the 2 horizontal bubble stitches with 3 single crochet in between and 3 double crochets either side. For next row, we're gonna turn. Okay, so this is row 5, and again I'm gonna start with standing double crochet into the first stitch like this, and 1 double crochet in next, and again double crochet in next. So that's my 3 double crochets on the edge. Now what we're going to do is chain 6, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We're going to skip this horizontal bubble stitch and we're going to concentrate on those 3 single crochets that we've got in between. Okay, and I'm going to simply work 1 single crochet in the next single crochet and the next one and the third one as well. Okay, so 3 single crochets there in the middle, and again we're going to mirror the other side, so chain 6 again like this, skip the next horizontal bubble stitch and simply work 1 double crochet into each stitch to end. Okay, so that's 3 double crochets on the other side like this. Okay, so this is where we are at the moment. Now the next row, okay, so row 6, I'm gonna work standing double crochet again into the first stitch and 1 double crochet in next and double crochet in next. Okay, so that's 3 double crochets on the end. Then we're going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 chain stitches. Okay, you can work around the chain if you want to, but I prefer to insert the hook into those chain stitches for this part so my stitches don't move or travel down that chain and they just sit neatly where they are intended to sit. Okay, so that's 3 double crochets there like this. Then we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and we're gonna skip the next 3 chains and skip the next single crochet, and into the middle single crochet we're gonna work 1 bubble stitch again. Okay, so that's yarn over, insert, pull through 2, and I'm going to repeat that 4 more times. And 5 like this, and I've got 6 loops on my hook, so yarn over, pull through all loops on your hook, and then we're going to chain 3 again, 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to skip the single crochet and skip next 3 chains and work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 chain stitches. Okay, so that's skip 3 and into the next one it's 1 double crochet, and that leaves us with the 3 double crochets on the other side, and it's just 1 double crochet to end like this. Okay, so you can see that the flower motif is emerging here. Okay, so for the next row we're gonna start with standing double crochet once again, and basically is 1 double crochet into each stitch across, which means the first 6 double crochets is into the top of the double crochets. Then we reach the 3 chain, So I'm going to go 1 double crochet into each chain stitch, like this. Then that brings us onto the bobble stitch. So what we're going to do is 1 double crochet into the top of the bobble stitch, and then 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 chain stitches on the other side, like this. And then we've got the 6 double crochet, so it's just 1 double crochet into each. And there we go. So that is the repeat. That is the flower motif finished for the side strip. Okay, you can see that if you block it, it will nicely open up, and you'll see the flower motif even better. So now what you basically need to do is repeat this flower motif. So that's row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. You need to repeat that until you have 19 of these flower motifs, or 19 of these repeats of row 2 to 7 all together, and then your side strip will be finished. I'm going to be working on smaller sample just to show you the stitches. So for the main body of your shawl, we need to find the front. So row 1 right side is your right side, so I'm gonna turn it on its side, so you're gonna have long strip of fabric, and I'm gonna insert my hook round the edge stitch, and I'm gonna join cream yarn to start with, like this. And then basically I'm gonna start with a standing double crochet again. Okay, so 1 standing double crochet around the first stitch on the edge, just like this, and work 2 more double crochets around the first stitch. Okay, and basically it's gonna be 3 double crochets around each edge stitch, or the end double crochet of each row. Okay, so I've got the first 3 double crochets, then I'm going to work next 3 double crochets around the next end stitch, okay, like this, and basically repeat this all the way across. Here we are at the end of row 1. As I said, just 3 double crochets around each. For row 2, we're going to work the cross double crochet. So for the first stitch, again, I'm going to start with a standing double crochet into the first stitch, like this. And the cross stitch is basically skip the next double crochet and work 1 double crochet into next, like this. And to cross the stitches over, we're going to work back into the stitch we skipped. So yarn over, insert your hook back through the double crochet that we skipped, push to the back, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so that's the cross double crochet. So again, skip the next double crochet and work standard double crochet into the next, like this. And then we're going to go back into the stitch that we skipped. So I'm going to yarn over and insert my hook back into the stitch we skipped and work a double crochet. Okay, and as you can see, it's creating these little crosses. Okay, so that's cross double crochet, and that's going to be repeated all the way across until the very last stitch, and when you reach the last stitch, just work one standard double crochet into the very last stitch, and I will meet you back for row 3. And here we are for row 3. Again, we're going to start with standing double crochet into first, like this, then one double crochet into the next stitch. So we've got the 2 stitches on the end. And now what we're going to do is work one double crochet in next, chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet in next. Okay, again, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in next, all the way across the row until you get to the last stitch, and simply work one double crochet into the last stitch. So go ahead and work across the row in the same repeat, just creating this mesh, and I will meet you back for row number 4. Here we are at the beginning of row 4, and again we're going to start with standing double crochet into the first stitch and one double crochet in the next, like this. Then we're gonna skip the next one chain space, skip the next double crochet and the next one chain space, and into the next double crochet. Okay, so we're gonna skip this double crochet and work into the next one, and we're gonna create the shell into the next one. So that's 3 double crochets into that one double crochet, then we're going to chain 2 and work another 3 double crochet all in the same stitch. So we're creating the shell, okay, like this. Then we're gonna again skip the chain space, skip the double crochet, skip the chain space, and into the next double crochet we're going to place 1 double crochet there. Okay, so this is our repeat. Again, skip the chain space, double crochet, chain space, and into the next double crochet we're going to again work 3 double crochet, chain 2, and another 3 double crochet. Like this, and then again skip the chain space, double crochet, chain space, and into the next double crochet we're gonna place 1 double crochet. Okay, and that's gonna be your repeat all the way across to the end. So continue with the repeat and I'll meet you back for row 5. Okay, so because I'm working on much smaller sample, my stitch count is not quite working out at the moment. I can fit another shell here, but you would continue to the end of the row and it would naturally work out for you better than on this small swatch that I'm working on. But I just wanted to walk you through the stitches. So for row 5, get through the beginning of your pattern, which is a standing double crochet in next. We're gonna chain 3, and just to show you the stitch placement, we're gonna work 1 double crochet in this double crochet between the 2 shells. Okay, so let's just think these are 2 shells. So I'm gonna work double crochet into the top of that double crochet. Then we're going to chain 3 like this, and skip the next 3 double crochets and work into the 2 chain space at the top of the shell, and we're going to place 1 single crochet, then again chain 3 and work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, again chain 3 and skip the 3 double crochet and single crochet into the next 2 chain space, and then chain 3, and at the end of the row simply skip the last 3 double crochet of the shell and work 1 double crochet into each stitch to end. Okay, so that's basically the repeat for row number 5. Okay, for row number 6 we're gonna again start with a standing double crochet and 1 double crochet in next, and then we're gonna chain 1 and work 1 double crochet into the next 3 chain space like this, chain 1 and double crochet into the next single crochet. So we're again creating the 1 chain space mesh as we did on row number 3. Okay, so chain 1, 1 double crochet into next 3 chain space, chain 1 and double crochet into the next double crochet there, chain 1 and double crochet into the 3 chain space. So that's basically your repeat all the way across. Okay, creating the 1 chain space mesh and double crochets there, same as we did on row number 3. So go ahead and work to the end and we will go through the next row together, which is basically going to be just working into each stitch across. For the next row, so this is row 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, that's right. Again, standing double crochet to start with, like this, and then 1 double crochet in next, and double crochet in next, and then we've got the 1 chain spaces alternating with double crochets, and basically we're just going to place 1 stitch into each stitch across. So the chain spaces count as stitches, and we're going to work 1 double crochet into each double crochet and into each 1 chain space all the way across, and you should have exactly the same amount of stitches as we did in row 1. Okay, so I started with 24 stitches. If memory serves me, you should have 348 stitches on row number 7, which is the same as row number 1. And once you work up the main body of the shawl, so once you create another repeat, okay, so row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, then you repeat row 2 one more time, and then you come to row 15, which is for the first half of the shawl. You're going to work row 15. For the second half of the shawl, you're going to continue without row 15, but we're going to continue with the joining row, and I'm going to show you how to join the 2 halves together. But for now, let's walk you through row 15 on your first half. So again, I'm going to start with a standing double crochet into the first stitch. Then we're going to go with double crochet into the next, like this. Okay, then we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We're going to skip the next 3 stitches and work single crochet into next, like this. And your repeat is chain 5, skip 3 stitches and single crochet in next. So we're basically just creating these loops that we're going to later use to join the 2 halves together. So again, chain 5, skip 3 stitches, single crochet in next, chain 5, skip 3 and single crochet in next. And when you get to the end of your shawl, so we're going to work up to the last 3 stitches. So we're going to chain 5 like this, skip 3 stitches and then I've got the last 3 stitches left. So we're gonna work double crochet into each stitch to end. Like this. Okay, and that's basically a small sample of your joining row. Okay, so we've got the 2 double crochets on one end, then 5 chain space loops all the way across with 3 double crochets on the other end. Okay, so this is row 15 on your first half of the shawl, and once you can fasten off the first half, then go ahead and repeat the pattern for the side strip and for the main body, all the way across, all the repeats until you have the second half of your shawl together. And then next step is to join the 2 halves together, which I'm going to show you next. Okay, now we have the 2 halves of the shawl finished. It's time to work the joining row through the middle. Okay, so this is my first half because this is the one that I have finished already. And this one has got the 15 rows of the main body. As you can see, we worked the last row of those chain spaces here as well. So these are the loops that we're now going to use to join the 2 halves together. Okay, so when I'm referring to first half, is the half that we already finished, the one with row 15 with these 5 chain loops at the top. Okay, and my second half is this one that I'm currently still working on. So we've got the 14 rows finished, and row 15 is going to be the joining row. Okay, so we're not going to work these loops as part of row 15. We're going to replace row 15 with the joining row, which is going to be connecting the 2 halves together. Okay, so I've got my first half here at the top, and I've got, if you look at row 1 that we worked into the size of the long strip, I've got the row 1, the right side up. Okay, so the side you worked on, that's the right side of row 1, so I've got that facing up. Okay, so that's how I've got the first half positioned up here. And for the second half, okay, after you obviously finish row 14, you need to turn, and then we're going to be working from this side, going forward, joining on. But if you look at row 1 of this half, okay, at the first double crochet stitches here, they are right side up as well. So that's how you line up your shawl, with the right sides up. Okay, and now, as I said, we're going to join the 2 halves together. So we're going to basically still mirror the row 15 on the first half, and we're going to work this exact same row 15 on the second half, but we're also going to be joining the 2 halves together, working through these loops and these stitches. Okay, so I've got my yarn still attached. We're going to start on the joining row. So this is my second half, the one I'm still working on, and I'm going to start with a standing double crochet. Okay, so standing double crochet into the first stitch like this, and now I'm going to go over to the first half and start joining it kind of stitch to stitch. So I work my first standing double crochet, and then I'm going to grab the first half and slip stitch through the first double crochet. Okay, like this, just a slip stitch to join it together like this. Okay, so double crochets together. Now I'm gonna work, if you just want to let the first half guide you, we've got the 3 double crochets here at the end, so we're gonna create 3 double crochets on this end so it nicely matches. Okay, so I work standing double crochet, slip stitch into first double crochet on the first half. Now I'm going to work double crochet into the next stitch on the second half like this, standard double crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch into the second double crochet on the first half to join. And again, for the third double crochet, I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch on the second half, and then slip stitch into the top of the next double crochet on the first half. So if I now show you, this is where we are at the moment. So we've got 3 double crochet here, 3 double crochet on the first half as well, and we basically just join them through the top with slip stitches. Okay, now we come to the first 5 chain space on the first half. So what we're going to do is chain 2. I'm going to slip stitch into the first 5 chain space on the first half, like this, chain 2 again, so that's like my chain 5. Okay, then I'm going to skip next 3 stitches on the second half, so 1 2 3, and work single crochet into the next stitch. Okay, so we're basically repeating what we did on the first half, but obviously we need to now join the 2 halves together. Okay, so now I've got next 5 chain space in front of me. So instead of just chaining 5, again, I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to slip stitch into the next 5 chain space. I hope you can see this. Let me move it. So chain 2, and I'm going to slip stitch into this next 5 chain space on the first half. Okay, so let me slip stitch like this. Then I'm going to chain 2 again, and I'm going to go back to the second half stitches, skip the next 3, and work single crochet into next. Okay, so we're essentially chaining 5, okay, chaining 5, skipping 3 stitches and working single crochet in next, same as we did for row 15 on the first half, but we're obviously replacing the middle chain with a slip stitch into these 5 chain spaces. Okay, and that's how we're joining it together. So let's go and do that again. So I'm going to chain 2, then I'm going to look for the next 5 chain space on my first half. Okay, so I worked into that one, so I'm going to slip stitch into the next one like this, chain 2 again, and I'm going to go and skip 3 stitches on the second half and work single crochet in next. Okay, and again chain 2, then look for the next 5 chain space on the first half, slip stitch into there, chain 2 again, then skip 3 stitches and work single crochet in the next. Okay, so as I said, we are essentially just repeating what we did for row 15 on the first front half, but instead of just chaining, we're creating this beautiful lacy join, as you can see. Okay, so let's go ahead and work up a couple more, and this is basically the repeat all the way across until we get to the other side. And then for the other side, we're just going to mimic what we did when we joined here by working the 2 double crochets on the other side, because the other side's got 2. It's pretty easy once you work out where to insert your hook, where to join it, and where to go with it. Okay, so as you can see, once it's nicely blocked out, you're gonna have this beautiful lace running through the middle of your shawl where we join the 2 halves together, which works out pretty well because we kind of ended on these solid 2 rows with kind of like a solid stitches. So the next kind of lace panel through the middle is going to nicely break up the shawl as we've been doing with the pattern. So this is, like I said, this is now hopefully pretty straightforward, and I'm going to continue working across the row, and then I'll walk you through the very end of the row when we're going to kind of mimic this beginning but at the end of the row. So go ahead and keep repeating the lacy join, and I'll meet you back at the end of the row. So as you can see, I've gone all the way across, joining the two halves together, and just these last few stitches I'm going to walk you through. So I repeated the same pattern until the last 5 stitches on the second half. So I've got 5 stitches left here, and again we're going to mirror what we did on the first half, exactly the same. So until the last 5 stitches there, so we've got one more 5 chain space here on the first half. So again I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to slip stitch into the last 5 chain space and chain another 2. And now I'm going to skip 3 stitches on the second half as usual, but I'm going to mirror the same stitches we've got on the first front half, which is 2 double crochets. Okay, so I chain 2, slip stitch into the last 5 chain space, chain 2 again, skip 3 stitches on the second half, and I'm now going to work double crochet into the next stitch to mirror the first half. And I'm gonna slip stitch into the double crochet on the first half to join it, and that leaves me very last stitch on the second half. So that's double crochet into the very last stitch, and also slip stitch into the very last double crochet on the first half, like this. And we're done. Okay, so I can pull the yarn through and fasten off like this, and that's the join finish in the middle. So as you can see, we basically mirrored the stitches on both sides of the halves. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this joining technique of joining the 2 shawl halves together. It creates a beautiful lacy join, as you can see, and of course it will need blocking. So if I show it you from this side and just pull it apart a little bit, you can see that once you block it, you're gonna have a beautiful lacy join through the middle of your fabric like this. Okay, so yeah, it's a really great way to join the 2 halves together. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I can't wait to see your finished crochet shawls. Please do share them with me.